Hey, what is up everyone? My name is Andre and welcome to your very first Java video tutorial. And in this video, I'm going to be going over a few things such as just giving you guys a little background on the Java programming language and show you guys how to install the necessary tools and applications in order to write and run our Java code. So, little background on Java. Java is a programming language created in the early 1990s by a company called Sun Microsystems. And you see, back in the day, you would write an application exclusively for an operating system. So think of writing an application for Windows and not being able to run it on Mac or Linux. You'd have to rewrite the whole thing so that it would work on other platforms. So that's what Java set out to fix. And what makes this possible is something called the Java virtual machine, which pretty much gets your Java code and translates it down to machine code pretty much. So this was obviously very popular, and it came out early 1990s, and it's still popular today. It's a great programming language, and a lot of platforms, a lot of things use Java. So if you're really into, say, like Android, Java is a great programming language to start off with. And also, a lot of the concepts in Java easily translate to other programming languages, such as C#, C++, because Java does it does include things like variable types, whereas programming language like Python does not. And don't worry if you don't know what variable types are. I'll be going over that in another video. So let's go ahead and get started. What you need first is you need to install something called the Java Development Kit, and also known as the JDK. So this Java Development Kit pretty much just has all the tools and resources in order for us to compile and run our Java code. And it does also include that Java virtual machine that I mentioned earlier. So in order to download this, go ahead and go to your favorite search engine or Google and just type in download Java Development Kit. And you should see a link on here from Oracle. So go to the Oracle website. So Sun Microsystems is no longer the owner. I think it was bought out by Oracle. So they are the owners now of Java. So on this upper box right here, go ahead and click accept and download the file for your computer. So I mean, if you're running Linux, you can go ahead and download the appropriate file. I'm running Windows 64-bit, so I would go ahead and download this. Now, if you don't know if your computer is 64-bit or 32-bit, also known as x86, if you bought your computer within the past, I want to say 4 years or so, 4 or 5 years, then chances are your computer is running 64-bit architecture, and you'd have to download this file. If your computer is older than 5 years, then I'd go ahead and download the x86, also known as 32-bit. So you go ahead and download this file. I already downloaded and installed it, so I don't need to go ahead and do that. I'll go ahead and close the browser. What you need to do now is you need to go to your C drive and then go to Program Files, and we're going to be locating this JDK. See this Java folder? I'm going to click on that. Click on where it says JDK, and then click on where it says bin. Now you see this path on here? Go ahead and copy that path. Okay? Now what you want to do is you want to open up My Computer or if you're running Windows 10, it should say like this PC. Go to where it says Properties. And then on here, it should say Advanced System Settings. Click there. Okay. And then down here, it should say, under the Advanced tab, it should say Startup and Recovery. Right underneath that, it should say Environment Variables. Click that. Now there is a variable on here called Path. If you do not see that, go ahead and create a new one and name it Path. If you do see it on there, click on it and then just click on Edit. Okay. Now what you want to do is don't delete the variable value, but instead what you want to do is add a semicolon if it's not already on there and paste that path that we copied earlier. And then just go ahead and click OK, and then click OK, and then click OK again. Now to check and see if this is working, what you want to do is you want to go ahead and open up Command Prompt. You don't have to run it as an administrator if you're already on your admin page or admin account. So you go ahead and open it and type in Java C, all one word. You hit enter and it should give you something like this. Okay. All right, which means that it's working. And I'll show you what it looks like when it's not working. Let's see. Yeah, so it'll show something like this if it's not working. All right, so anyway, you go ahead and close that. Now that we installed the JDK, what we want to do is we want to install a program where we can run our Java code. And there are many different programs out there. You can actually technically write it in Notepad and then compile it, you know, but it really sucks writing code like that. It'll take way too long. Nobody really writes code like that anymore. So there are these applications called IDEs or integrated development environments. And one of my favorites is actually called Eclipse. So we'll go ahead and download Eclipse. Okay, it looks like the page has changed a little bit. So yeah, you go ahead and click on download and it should take you to it should give you this file on here, but this is actually the installer. So what this is going to do is it's going to bring up an application in where it's going to show you a couple of options because there are many different versions of Eclipse. Let's see if I can go ahead and wait till this downloads just so I can show you guys which version of Eclipse to download. Alright, so we go ahead and click on it. And we just wait. And we wait and we wait and we wait. All right, so finally the the installer comes up, and on here, so this isn't the actual Eclipse application. This is the installer. You're going to see all these different options for different versions of Eclipse. All right, so once you get the installer up and running, this isn't actually the Eclipse application, it's just the installer, and it'll show you different versions of Eclipse. All right, so once you get the installer up and running, it'll look something like this. Now this isn't the actual Eclipse application, it's just something that'll help you download the right version of Eclipse. So there are different versions of Eclipse on here. There's one for, I believe, so there's one for C++, there's one for Java, PHP. There's a bunch of different versions, but the one that you're going to want to download is this one on here, the one that says Eclipse IDE for Java developers. So you go ahead and click on that, and then just click next, and then next, and then just go through the install, just go through the whole installation process, and you should get an icon that looks something like this on your desktop. So technically, you're not really installing anything on your hard drive. This isn't something that you will find under control panel. This actually just sits on its own, which is actually pretty cool. So yeah, once you go ahead and download that, then we're all set, I believe. All we really need to do is just start writing our Java code. Again, we went through, give you guys a little background on the Java programming language. I kind of explained on what the Java virtual machine was. We downloaded the JDK, and we downloaded our IDE, or our Integrated Development Environment. So in our next video, I'm going to be going over our very first Java application, also known as Hello World. People who start off programming usually create this application as their first project. It's something very small, but we'll go over all the technical details and all of that. So again, my name is Andre, and thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Thanks.